Rural Texas, 1979. Sheriff Dentler arrives at the site of a gruesome incident. A body lays hidden in the front of the house and blood streaks cover the porch. Upon entering, the deputy directs Dentler's attention to a particularly frightening scene within, which shocks the sheriff. One day earlier, Maxine Minx, an up-and-coming actress, prepares to travel to Houston, Texas, to shoot the pornographic film called The Farmer's Daughter. She and her boyfriend Wayne, who is also the executive producer, join the crew, which includes writer and director RJ, his girlfriend, and sound operator Lorraine, and the actor couple Bobby Lynn and Jackson. Wayne refers to Lorraine as Church Mouse, as she appears to be more conservative than the rest, while Bobby Lynn and Jackson engage in sensual acts throughout the ride. When they arrive at the farmhouse filming location, Wayne approaches the elderly owner, Howard, who greets him with a gun pointed at him. Wayne reminds Howard about their previous conversation about renting the place. But when Howard sees the rest of the team, he shows skepticism and disapproval for them. Maxine exits the vehicle and notices Howard's wife, Pearl, watching her through a window. Before the filming process starts, Maxine meets Pearl, who seems to flirt with her. Pearl notes her age and confesses regret about her long-term absence of intimacy with Howard. When Howard returns home, Pearl hurries Maxine out, asking her to keep it a secret. In the farmhouse, the crew gathers for filming, following the story of the movie in which Jackson's car breaks down, leading him to Bobby Lynn's house, where they shoot their scene. In the next scene, Maxine plays the younger sister. Pearl observes the scene and seems to become aroused. Pearl later tries to seduce Howard, but he rejects her due to his heart problems. Lorraine shares her wish for a role in the movie to RJ later that evening, but he rejects it. However, the rest of the group agrees to allow Lorraine to join in, recognizing her desire to be actively involved rather than only handling sound recording. In the dead of night, fueled by anger, RJ tries to drive away, intending to leave the others behind. However, his plans halt when he encounters Pearl standing in the middle of the road. RJ tries to help her back to the house, but she makes advances towards him, which he rejects. In response, Pearl stabs him in the neck and repeats until he dies, causing blood to spray onto the headlights. Meanwhile, Wayne enters the farmhouse, accidentally stepping on a nail with his bare foot. He hears a noise and looks through a hole in the wall, only to be impaled through the eye with a pitchfork by Pearl, resulting in his death. Lorraine goes to look for RJ, triggered by Howard's mention that Pearl is missing. As she enters their home to investigate, Howard locks her in the cellar. While exploring, she comes across the nude body of a deceased guy hanging. She screams and desperately tries to get out of the cellar. Howard asks for Jackson's help, and the two go along the lake, where Jackson notices a sunken vehicle. When Jackson turns around, Howard confronts him, claiming knowledge of Pearl's actions, before fatally shooting him in the chest with his shotgun. Pearl slides into bed next to Maxine, leaving traces of RJ's blood on her back as she touches her. Maxine turns around, startled, and sees Pearl, causing her to scream in horror. Overhearing the chaos, Bobby Lynn runs to help Maxine. Bobby Lynn chases Pearl to the lake. Bobby Lynn tries to help Pearl return inside, but is met with animosity as Pearl taunts her and pushes her into the lake, where she is attacked and swallowed by an alligator. Lorraine gets an axe and tries to smash down the door to escape, but she is caught by Howard, who crushes her fingers with his own axe, severing one. When the couple enters the room, Maxine hides under their bed. They talk about the murders and Howard eventually agrees to have intimacy with Pearl. Maxine goes out and tries to get to the vehicle, but the keys are missing, and she notices RJ's corpse. She takes Wayne's gun from the glove compartment. Maxine rushes to the cellar to rescue Lorraine. As they try to escape, Lorraine blames Maxine for the events happening. Suddenly, Lorraine makes a dash to escape the house, only to be fatally shot in the face by Howard. As he tries to bring her body inside, Lorraine emits a dying cough, triggering a fatal heart attack for him. Maxine grabs the keys to the van and fronts Pearl with her gun. However, Maxine realizes that the pistol is unloaded. Pearl shoots the shotgun at Maxine, but misses, and the recoil drives her out of the house, fracturing her hip on impact. Pearl begs for help, but Maxine refuses. While Pearl insults her, calling a whore, Maxine gets into the van and drives over her head. The next day, Sheriff Dentler and his fellow officers arrive at the scene. The deputy discovers the camera used to film the adult movie. When he asks about Dentler's thoughts on its contents, Dentler responds, "A goddamn horror show." Thanks for watching. To catch all the latest from us, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified as soon as a new video drops. We'll see you in the next one.